What do you think? Oh my God. Downtown Harold's. I have memories, man. Coming back. C2E2. Lemon pepper. Harold's. Harold'sChicken.com. Subscribe. Like and subscribe. Click for notifications. Watch my posts. Treat Harold's with respect. Always tip. You got it.
Art.
Oh yeah! 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 Oh yeah!
Famous cartoonist says things.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Famous cartoonist draws things.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Famous cartoonist paints things.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Famous cartoonist Art Baltazar.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh, I covered our heads. But that's us. Welcome to Famous Cartoonist Says Things. Oh, I'm sorry. The overlay is covering our faces a little bit too much. There we go. But we're here. Welcome to the show. This is a special event because this is the long-awaited episode 200 of Famous Cartoonist Says Things. I've been doing this 199 other times. Me sitting on the internet talking about things. No topics, just talking. It's always Harold's Chicken, White Sox, Star Wars, or comics. Sox. Go Sox.
Go Sox.
I know. This is our guest, Comic Books for Kids.
Hey!
These are my friends. These are my guests. We've been doing a lot of things. This is my special guest for episode 200. I wanted to make something cool with some guests. My first 100th episode, I had Gordy on there playing his music. That was cool. And you guys are like my special guest for 200.
So the only comment I'd like to start with is if we're the special guest for 200, I'm really hoping that you didn't need to say that there were 199 earlier ones, because I think your audience probably might have interpreted that.
Yeah, they probably know. Yeah, that's a given. That's a given. It's like, I don't know how I did all that. You know, when it started, my mom gave me this webcam during when all the kids were home for school, doing their English homework on the couch and sleeping all day. But he gave me this webcam and she said, here, Artie, I don't want this. Can you use this? And I plugged it in at work and I went live, and now it's like I do it all the time.
It looks really clear. It looks really good.
What's the story with the live bands at C2E2? Is that someone you knew or know?
No, those guys are out there every year for the last few years. I don't know who they are. It's just a group of kids. They look like high school kids or college kids, and they set up in the lobby there right before you go in, and they just play sci-fi songs, and they play all kinds. And I just happened to record the Star Wars ones, and last year was the Come and Get Your Love in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So they play Aliens theme songs. They played Lord of the Rings one time, but I don't have my camera ready, but I try to record them. The last 3 years I was able to record them, and they're out there all the time, and they're all dressed in costumes and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, I don't know who does that. I don't know what they're called. I don't want to ask them nothing because I don't want to interrupt them. But they're real cool, man. Yeah, it's a real good time. We got people already looking in here. Look at Andrick says hello. Hello, Andrick. Anthony Fletch. Yeah. Yeah, what you say, sir?
We need to know where, they need to tell us where home is.
Oh, where you guys from? Yeah.
Yeah, let us know where home is.
Yeah. It says famous episode, cough, cough, 200 episode. Yeah, I kind of skipped ahead, and I ended up calling my other shows 30 Days of Yogs, and didn't continue the numbering. So I'm going to go back and number all the shows after this one. But that's cool. Yeah,
That theme song should be your ringtone, Art. That's
cool.
famous. It should, right? It'd be a good ringtone for you.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I'm big fans of Ookla the Mock, the band, and they do a lot of nerd music, Star Trek, superhero stuff. And I got to know them, and I became friends with them. And so that's Rand from Ookla the Mock, Rand Bellavia from Ookla, and he had a Kickstarter once, and one of the things was like he'll write you a 30-second song. So I sent him money, and he goes, "Wow, this is cool." So I said, "Can you make a theme song?" He goes, "What do you want it to say?" And I told him I wanted to say famous cartoonist draws things, says things, and paints things, and that's what he did. So I wrote I wrote the lyrics. I'm a good lyricist, but so that was pretty cool. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I like your socks hats, but we got the Cubs thing. We got the Cubbies.
I know.
Got the Cubbies. So anyone north side or south side watching, they're all going to feel very well at home here.
Yeah, we're all Chicago here. Yeah, and I just visited. Man, I see what you're doing, man. And we met each other years ago. How many years now? We know each other. 6 years?
Oh, 43.
7 years? 43 years. And I finally got to visit your warehouse.
It was 6 years ago. At C2E2.
Right, yeah.
Where we were going to do our first variant, which was Archie 700. That was going to be our very first variant. And I walked up to your table at C2E2 and I said, "Hey, you don't know me, but you're the famous cartoonist, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, man."
Oh, look at that. There it is. Woohoo. Oh, look at that.
And
look at all those drawings. Did I do that to you? I mean, for you?
It's amazing.
It's
amazing. It's a true story.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And
that's cool.
And then you said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it for you." And then I didn't hear from you. That was it. I mean, for a month, I didn't hear from you. "Yeah, man, we're cool. All right."
Yeah.
And then a month later, my phone rings. "Hey, it's Art. What's up?" Like, "Hey, Art, what's up?" Goes, "Well, I'm just sitting here at O'Hare."
Mm-hmm.
"That's cool. Where you going?" "New York Comic Con." "That's awesome." Mm-hmm. "Okay. So Art, what's going on?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Hey, I'm doing your Archie 700. What do you want?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, this is what I want." I said, "I want this little child on a bed, and behind the bed, I want maybe a poster, and around the bed are the characters from Archie that are in Archie, and maybe some toys." You go, got it. And then you drew something on a piece of paper and you sent it to me. And you said, "Oh, check this out." And I looked at it and it looked like a Rorschach test because I had no idea what I was looking at. But I knew it made complete sense to you because you could visualize it. And I said, "Oh, this is going to be great." Because
it was a little thumbnail sketch of my sketch.
And as Michelle showed you, that was it. But that was it. From the moment I said hello to you, and that's it. That's the cover that Michelle's showing you. That is literally the cover. Yeah,
that's cool, man. Because I get approached a lot by charity guys or different guys or guys with big dreams, big ideas. And I always say yes. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Send me an email." And most of them never do. They get scared or something happens. But we kept in contact. You were the one who came back and like, "Oh, this guy, he wants to do this." So that was cool. Like it started. It didn't have to like go away and like 3 years later, like, "I remember when I saw you last year."
It was, that was truly the beginning of,
I remember you sending me the sketch too, Dad, that Art had done and seeing it and being like, "What is this? I can't, I don't know what this is." And then to see it come to life was like, "Oh, okay, that's amazing. Now I see it."
I'm going to see if I could show it.
And by the way, I mean, I know this is a shameless plug,
Yeah,
we're
do it.
going to have a few of those at C2E2 at our booth. And I think the famous cartoonist may be signing some of those at our booth, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves here. We'll talk more about that
Heck
later
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I'll sign everything. And look at, here's your, I don't know if I could see it, but it's, I'll cover your number, but here's the sketch on my phone. So when you call, that's the sketch that you see. It's got art. So you can't even make it. Even if I went large, you still don't know. It looks the same, but there it is in focus.
That actually is the sketch.
Yeah, that's the sketch.
And now
Yeah.
wait, keep that up there, Michelle.
Yeah.
Would you get what you just showed up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
see,
great.
Jughead is reading his book, and the girl Sabrina is on a broomstick. See her? Yeah. So that's him. That's them. Yeah, that's the sketch. And I knew, but that's like when you call, that shows up now.
That was honestly the beginning of where we started considering the famous cartoonist a very good friend to our organization.
Oh yeah, and yeah, man, I believe what you guys do. I'm into it, and I like charities that are for kids. When we donate personally at home, it's always something for kids, and it just makes sense to me. And suppose I'm the artist who draws for kids, so I have to do these things. Living outside the box, in the box, away from the box. It's all the same box. I never said that before. That sounds cool.
I don't know. I don't know how many of your followers know about us, and we'll talk more about it. But I remember when you were working on Archie 700, we went and had lunch.
Yeah.
And we always have lunch at the same place, and we went to have lunch. And we had been a charity, I think, at that point for only about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. We were really, really young, and we were talking about, what our goal was. And it is with complete pride and through the unbelievable support of people like you, Art, and the people who are watching this podcast, that we share with everyone that we are now the largest charity, not only in the United States, to kids in hospitals for pop culture items like toys, T-shirts, action figures, but actually North America. And with our new Comic Book for Kids UK, we're the largest charity in the world for what we do. And this was never, honestly, we never anticipated. That was never expected. This was very much a surprise. And it is truly, honestly, truly a reflection of the people who support the industry, the fan base. We would not be who we are without this phenomenal fan base. They're really the ones who have allowed us to stretch and do what we do. So just a momentary thank you to everybody for all the support that has been provided to us.
Oh, that's cool. And I love seeing the photos of the kids holding up the books when they're in hospitals. And even if it's my book, especially, I see, wow, they have my Wolf Boy book. But then any book, if they're holding a Supergirl book or any kind of book, it's just cool to see them smiling and the faces. And man,
I'm gonna share this. This is our Facebook post that we put up last night. Our boxes that we send out don't only have comic books; they have action figures and toys, and Funko Pops and Squishmallows. So we got Squishmallows to work with us, and they sent us one, and we got this little picture from a hospital in South Dakota, and
oh, look at that! Yeah, she's cute.
And we put this on, and this is being presented with approval from the parent.
Oh, there, yeah. That's nice
approval from the parent, from the hospital. And we wrote on the Facebook post, this is why we do what we do. This is why we go to C2E2. This is why we spend all our time, because it's moments like this when you know that just a single moment can take that child away from being in the hospital. And all of a sudden they're with a toy, or they're reading your comic, Art. They're reading a little Archie, or they're reading your drawing, or they're reading Patrick the Wolf Boy, and they're not in the hospital anymore. They are that character. That's what makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, we
And then
bring them in
also
there.
the military too side
Right.
of it. I mean, sending the comics to the military and getting those pictures is awesome too, because you just see them and they look like
Yeah.
little kids, so
They're little
exciting
kids.
holding those
Yeah.
comics. It's those are my favorite pictures.
Especially a place if they're out in the field with no Wi-Fi, they're in the
Yep.
desert or the jungle, but they could put a comic in their back pocket, pull out an issue of Superman or the Punisher and go at it.
We could
Get
share
inspired.
something with you. We could tell.
Yeah.
We could say it right here.
Yeah.
We on the 200th episode, we can announce exactly how the Comic Book for Troops charity
I don't know how to. I don't know
became a
this story.
reality.
Wow, I don't know this story. Yeah, that's cool.
So we were working on a coloring book many years, our first year and a half, and we wanted some of the artists who had done work to contribute to the coloring book. So we reached out to people in the industry. And so we really wanted something from Will Eisner. Now, I am not in the industry. Michelle's not in the industry. So we are both together just reaching out to people, asking them to, we're doing a coloring book. We're not going to sell any of this art. We will give you full copy. This is full. You own all the art. It's just for kids in hospitals. We may sell a few to cover our printing costs, but And so we reached out to Will Eisner's, the Will Eisner organization, and a gentleman by the name of Carl Gropper was the one who answered my email and called me. And he says, "Hello, Mark, you don't know me. I'm the nephew of Will Eisner." And I said, "Sir, I'm very flattered." Again, remember, I'm not a part of an industry. Michelle and I are building this organization from nothing, right? We've got this Comic Book for Kids organization going. We're getting tons of comics, a lot of which, by the way, we can't use because we're not really sure we want Wolverine popping his claws.
Yeah, they're too mature.
Face,
Yeah.
So
I'm damn it, I'm Batman, whatever he says.
I said, "Hey, Carl," I said, "could we use some from art from your uncle?" And he says, "My Will was in the Army." I said,
"Oh, he's a veteran."
"Yeah." And Will did comics when he was in the Army.
Oh, cool. I
said, "Well, wouldn't it be cool if we could maybe do some comics for the troops then?" Wow. Carl? So he goes, "Well, I'll send you some stuff, Mark." And he sent me some cool stuff. He sent me some, and I could show you maybe later, but I got off the phone and it occurred to me, well, now Michelle and I know what we can do with all this material that we couldn't give to the kiddos.
Yeah.
So let's just create a subsidiary organization called Comic Book for Troops. And all this stuff that we haven't been able to use, we can now give to all branches of the military.
Wow.
In our first year, we shipped over 100,000 comics to all branches of the military. We became the largest charity in the U.S. for comics to all branches of the military. And it was just from, and by the way, all that was donated from the phenomenal people who wanted to help make a difference. So again, we're doing we're the face, but everybody who's watching, everybody who's supporting, they're the real heroes. We're just kind of moving it forward, but
you're there stealing boxes every day. I saw your place, I saw your videos, and when I saw you, like, man, how long does it take to mail? You got a lot of stuff to mail out. Like, they keep coming, and then you show me in your hallway you had like 6 or 8 boxes, giant boxes of stuff
that had arrived yesterday.
Yeah, but you got more.
We got 4 today.
Wow. Yeah, you just keep getting stuff.
And then when we first started this, we were in a 10 by 10 storage unit.
Yeah.
So I remember trying to pack boxes in the storage unit, and I would keep stepping over each other and be like, "Oh wait, where's that book?" And I just remember how small that was. but thinking at the time that we had so much material and this was going to be something amazing. And it's just crazy to think how far it's come from that little 10 by 10 storage unit that we used to work out of.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so how do you send stuff to the troops? Do you send it to like the Army headquarters and Navy headquarters? Or is there one person or one place you send it?
There is multiple routes to market that we've come up with. We are not an approved military contractor, and we decided to not go through the process of doing that.
Yeah.
So what we do is we find other organizations that put care packages together for the military.
Oh, cool.
And then what we do is we provide them thousands of books. So when they're putting their care packages together and they got some cookies and toothbrushes and all good stuff, you're going to get a Patrick the Wolf Boy. Yeah. They're going to get some really cool stuff, or a graphic novel, or some comics along with it.
That's cool.
Conversely, there are other organizations that we ship directly to, and there are the APOs that go directly to the military, where we have been contacted by various groups that will give us their APO address, and they'll say, hey, do you have any type of, do you have this? Do you have this? And we always will send, and we send them directly. So there is really no one particular way. We just get it out.
Yeah.
And as Michelle said, we have pictures on our website, and they're little kids. They got these big long boxes. They're just like really happy. This is cool, right?
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get an email like, hey man, you got Walking Dead number 47? I'm missing that one part.
I do get emails like that. And sometimes I'll come back and say, listen, I do have Walking Dead number 47. It's going to be in a reprint form, and it's going to be in a collected edition. But if that's okay, you let me know. Yeah. And they'll say, yeah. And then I'll send them the trade paperback with volume 4. Yeah. And they'll get issue 47.
I just want to read it, man. I'm stuck. I can't move on.
What happened next?
What happened?
Yeah. That's funny.
That's okay. He dies. No, we don't say that.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I put post-it notes. This one's really good. Yeah. You could read this one twice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Let's see what people are saying. Said, Andrew says, there's a challenge. Can anyone here recreate the Woody Woodpecker laugh?
Yes, I can. Oh, I absolutely can, but it's going to be worth a donation to the charity to do it.
Yeah, it's at least $20. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Happy 200th, Artie. Good. That's D. Brad. D. Brad's on every show. He's awesome. Yeah, he's cool. Philip. Hey, Buck. So here comes for kids. Oh, yeah, live. And Anthony says, round of applause for Comic Book for
Thank you,
Kids.
Anthony.
Yeah, and look, Philip, too. Those are either clapping hands or biscuits with cherries. I don't know what that is. And then Jeffrey Darcy gives us a
heart.
Cold black heart. No, it's all right. Jeffrey's okay. But that's cool, man. I'm glad you guys are setting up, too, at the big show. And
well, for anybody that doesn't know, we are thrilled to announce, and we announced publicly, that Mr. Art Baltazar is now officially on our board of advisors for Comic Book for Kids.
That's true. I'm very proud of that. That's cool.
Which means Art gets to tell us what he thinks we should do. Now, we didn't need to put Art on our board of advisors for him to tell us what he thinks we should do.
I remember we just went to lunch a few days ago, and you had an idea, and I actually said, as the new appointed chairman of the advisory board, I'm going to say, I don't think that's a good idea. And you went, okay. I remember that.
True story.
Like, yes, it worked.
True story.
Wait. True story.
True story.
Doesn't say it on there. True story. I'm going to make it large. Are you ready?
Okay,
ready?
Yeah.
Oh, now I know how to do it. True story.
There it is. True story.
Look at, man, that's a remark and a half. Look at that. Remarkable. Yeah, just like the.
There we go.
Look at, there's a special guest here watching today. It's my mom. Hello, Artie. Nice show. Thanks, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Hey, so Mom, you know what? What was it? Just a little short text. What was it like growing up with that boy as your son? I mean, you got to share, please.
She was already grown up. I was I was around growing up with her maybe, No, I don't know. But the picture of them, that's my mom and dad when they were 14 and they were dating, and that's at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. That's her profile picture.
That's
Aww.
amazing.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I have that on my wall, on my calendar.
Aw.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And we set up a Facebook page for my mom. She didn't know how. She just got this phone. I don't know
This
how
is
to do this.
great.
I took a picture and put it up, and now she has Facebook.
Oh,
Well,
now
you know,
she
at
can,
least
amazing.
yeah, now she could chime in. Isn't that cool? Look, here she responded. He was a joy. Yeah. It's like, I don't know if that's sarcastic or real. Yeah.
He was a
I was
joy.
going to say your mom uses sarcasm.
She did very well. Yeah.
With
No, it
2
was good.
exclamation points.
Yeah. She didn't give me a black heart like Jeffrey, though. No. No, she was good. It was cool. She says I was a great kid. I did it. I stayed in all the time and just wanted to draw. Where all the kids were outside playing ball and running around and beating up people. I just wanted to stay in the house, and they wouldn't beat up people.
Were you
Well, I grew
ever
up
were
South
you
Side Chicago.
ever an Arthur though?
Yeah, all the way through till probably till I got a job. And then they started calling me Artie. And then I became Artie, and I'm still Artie. But I became art professional because I write Art Baltazar. And when I first made my first comic book, I think I wrote Arthur in there. In high school, it was Arthur, and then Art. Yeah, it gradually changes. No, look at my mom responding. She's
Does your
yelling at
mom
me now.
call you Arthur?
No. She calls me Artie. No. He was one of a kind.
Now you
Yeah.
see, that is more of what I would have expected. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can
Mhm.
understand that.
Yeah, she's cool. I got to get her on my show too. I have my mom as a
That
guest.
would be
You
good.
absolutely should.
She'll probably tell me to clean up all that stuff
You
behind
know,
me.
I was just thinking about the fact that when we do go to lunch, it seems like the same waiter or gentleman is always there. And he sees us, and we go to lunch once every 3 months. It's not that often. And he sees us and he starts laughing as soon as he sees us.
Yeah. So he knows we're gonna we geek out and do our things, but
And
he always says same spot, and he points with his
Same
hand.
spot. We got comics. We bring comics in.
Yeah.
And
We show
yeah.
things to each other. Yeah.
I've never laughed so hard than when we're getting lunch and
Oh yeah.
hanging out with Art. I just can't stop laughing.
I know. I met
Funniest
you.
person I know.
First time I met you, I haven't heard you speak in like 4 days because you were just laughing the whole time.
Oh,
And I
it's
just
hilarious.
He was trying to laugh, and Mark, you said what she's trying to say is you're her favorite cartoonist. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's okay, Misha. Yeah. You were young little Mish. Now you're a woman Mish. It's kind of weird.
All grown up.
all grown up.
Yeah, my friend's adult daughter is weird. All my kids are growing too. Like Audrey's 19 now. And like, look at my mom still saying, you guys bring happiness to wherever you go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Aww,
yeah,
Bart.
Mom, these guys are awesome. They gather comics and for kids and sent them out. I saw the warehouse. I saw video, guys, where you fill in boxes and you took a short break. Just one of these kind of breaks. Like just that sigh relief.
Yeah.
And I know how hard you guys work, and it's insane. And I can't wait to sign at your table. I'm going to be there on Friday with you guys. And I want to show you guys something that I made. It's a little video that my friend Skokie Spidey, his name's Mike Campabasso, and he was at our last year's awards ceremony for Comic Books for Kids Appreciation Award. We get and he recorded our announcement.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's the best I could do. I edit it.
No, this is great.
But here we go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
He told me that I was the first person who he approached that actually said, yes, I'll draw a cover for you. I believe in the organization. I love kids' charities. I donate to kids' charities. I donate to charities as long as it's a kids' charity. But those are the ones I believe they need us, they need our support. And can we do a book? Like, yeah, man. Like, what's stopping us? Me, my company, Oya Comics, is teaming up with Comic Books for Kids and the printer, Evan Floor from Canada, to present our book, Comic Books for Kids, issue number 1. We're going to print thousands of these every year,
We're going to send them directly to the hospitals for these kids to read our books. And the first book, as you can see, there's a character called Mish in there, based off of Mish here. And there's a character named Artie Bee, based off of George Clooney. That's what they call it. We're going to send the kids. So we're going to be able to do this several times a year. And we're going to keep doing it until we can. So that's the big thing.
Oh yeah,
That
You
was
like
great.
That was in a
Artie Bee.
store. Yeah, and look at, I have the book. I'm gonna make it.
Oh, look
big.
at that!
I'm gonna make it big. Boom! Look at
Oh,
comic books for
amazing.
kids. Will be available at C2E2. The announcement was last year, and we have it. Look, here's a little sneak peek in the inside. That's all you get. I don't want to spoil.
Oh
Here's
no!
the back cover with Mish. We will have these at Comic Books for Kids booth, and I'll have some at my booth. But buy them at Comic Books for Kids. Support. But look at Comic Books for Kids will also have this. I will not have these. Only Comic Books for Kids exclusive. It's in the bag right now. I will take it out. Look at this. The glossy foil awesomeness variant cover with Mish on the cover. And on the bottom it says Comic Books for Kids. It looks much better in person than it does with this reflectiveness. Whoosh. But this is so cool. Look at the back cover. Look, it's similar to this, but one shiny. See? And this one's so cool that it's so glossy you could actually shave while looking at it. Use it as a mirror. But this is real cool. We'll have both of these comics at the Comic Books for Kids.
So we only printed 100 of those foils. You've got one.
Yeah.
Michelle's got one.
I think I have one.
I've got one. So there's only 97 of those.
97 left.
So we'll have those.
And they're like $100 each, right? Or something?
Well, they're not. They're
okay. They're not $100.
We're going to put them at 30. We want to make it affordable for people to get we're also going to, we want to make it affordable. We're also going to have a condition of a COA that comes with it that says limited to 100. So that will be with that book that will come in. And we're not, believe it, you guys who have printed your comics know, we're not making a whole lot of money. We, in a small quantity like that, the book costs us over $20 a piece to print. So
these are pricey. Yeah,
right.
Plus it's only 100. Yeah.
Cool, that'll be fun. But I'm hoping that some of the people who are watching will have a chance. And if you don't want to buy it, still come by and please say hello. It's always great to say hello to those who help support what we do.
And here's where they first meet. I'll say that one. Here's where Artie Bee and Mish first meet. I'm gonna go a large tease. Here you go. There's where they first meet right here. He's like, "Hey, what's happening? How you doing?" But it's cool. And you guys, this is Artie Bee's first appearance. This is Mish's first appearance. And ever since this, I've been writing more Artie Bee stories. So he's going to actually appear. And me and Jamie Cosley do a book every year around Halloween. And he's going to be in that book too. And it's a frog book. And he's going to be hanging out with a fly who's almost got eaten by a frog. And they just say so you're a fly? Yeah. Do you fly? Yeah. Are you a bee? Yeah. Do you bee? I bee. I just bee. So that's their whole conversation. And they meet a bear. Hey, bear, do you bear? Is that bear? Hey, duck, do you duck? I duck. So it doesn't work. You could bear, you could duck.
Now, for those of you watching, this is very similar to how lunch goes for 3 hours.
Oh yeah, it makes my cheeks hurt.
Mish needs a break. I see Tuito. I don't hear from either one of them for a month and a half. All right, we're not recovered yet. My ribs hurt. My face hurts. He's got a new Cubs hat. Look at that.
What?
He's got a classic on us.
All
right,
wow.
We'll give him a spotlight.
Wow.
North side. Look at that. The Cubs. Look at that.
You got two White Sox.
Yeah, I understand. I'm packing socks.
Wait, I got another one.
Oh, there she goes.
No.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I'm one up. I'm one up.
There you go.
I'm one up.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing good here.
This
We're
is
not messing
not
around.
good.
We go to Harold's, we go to Rickabenny's, we get hot wings, all kinds of stuff. We're all about the Chicago. Oh yeah, man. People are chiming. Look at Jeffrey says art is awesome. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Awesome.
D. Brad says, I love the circles that shows the characters on the cover. They remind me of stickers. Yeah, that's cool,
Yeah,
man.
they do actually.
I thought about, I wanted to do it like the old Harvey comics. That's what I was trying to emulate with the Harvey comics, and plus being a #1. And there's a lot of there's anti-gravity bears in the first book because I did a lot of classic strips I've done in the past just so I could get this out there, because I was doing the comic strip in my hunker and hardcore times, and I kind of finally have breathing room now, elbow room. I could do this. I could do other things besides wake up, draw, sleep, wake up, draw, sleep. Now I have a routine every day. It's pretty good. I think I'm becoming finding out what it means to be an adult with responsibilities and don't have to ignore my family.
We'll have to ask your mom that.
Oh yeah. Oh, they were always working all my life, man. Look at. Oh yeah, comics chimed in. Oh yeah, the spec is high. That's Joe right there.
Hey Joe.
Joe's a good man. Yeah. He goes, oh yeah, comic books for kids.
Thanks.
And he says, sup y'all? Just joined in from the shop. Where are you gonna be at C2E2 this weekend? Yeah, I forgot what your table number is.
Well, so you're in row Z, because I know that.
Yeah.
And we're in the SP3 special press area, small print area rather. So cool. SP3.
Yeah. I think you're by I think where Artist Alley is put.
We're right next to it.
Yeah, right on the side of it.
We're right on the side of it.
You could look down our row, I think.
Correct. And what's even cooler is, that video you showed of accepting an award at our CB4K awards. For those people that are going to be at C2E2, we are again doing our CB4K awards. Those of you who have a little pencil, write it down. It's 5:30 on Friday. And there is a big rumor the famous cartoonist might again be receiving some nice recognition. So you'll get a chance to see that.
I might have to make some space.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler not.
I have CB4K award. Whatever, it's 2 or 3, whatever it is, they're all there. And I have in the middle of them is my award I got for Yogs, my SEPA award from Colorado. I got that, and that's right on there. That's like I don't know, not many people can.
Do you remember, Art, the cool thing we gave you after you did the Archie 700? We did a collage. Yeah,
I have it somewhere. There, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna show it.
That was yeah.
I'm gonna show it. You're gonna see.
So while Art's looking for that, I'll give you guys a bit of a background. So we didn't tell Art what we were going to do, but we found this individual that takes cool covers and creates 3D collages. And you've got to mail him 2 covers because he's going to literally take scissors and he's going to cut it up and then he's going to put it on a frame and create a very 3D thing. So Michelle and I decided, said, Art, you want to come to lunch with us? We have something for you.
So you guys saw me move around. So there's more like activity. People are gonna did you see that time when he stood up?
No, I was
he was wearing
I was distracting with background.
Oh yeah.
And so we said, Art, so we brought it in and we didn't show it to him. We went to our restaurant, we put it in the booth behind us, and we said, we really appreciate you very much for being the artist who did our very first variant, and for supporting us. We wanted to provide something to you. And so we gave Art the
let me see. I'm gonna go large again. Go large and in charge, Baltazar. Look at this. There's the comic, and your artist guy made a collage with it. It's kind of cool, man. Like, this is so awesome. This has been in my studio for a little bit. Look at that. Isn't that cool? But you guys, I don't know if you remember. After that, I did a second variant cover for you. Do you remember what that was? I do. Look at boom! Superman. You guys gave me this like a year later or 2 years later. Superman variant issue. I don't know if that is issue 700, but that's a cool one too, man.
So here's the exciting news on that.
Yeah.
A couple announcements. you'll be able to sign those at our table tomorrow, a Friday. We have a small allocation of those, so we are selling a very small allocation of those. But we approached DC about 3 years ago about reprinting a very cool DC book. It was Superman issue number 39 from their Rebirth era.
Yeah. That's what.
And in the book, Superman and the Justice League take the kiddos on a field trip to the moon on a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
And we got DC to approve us doing that, and we decided to do 2 artists for our first year. And we went to lunch again, and I said, "Have you ever done a Superman cover?" And you said, "I've done, you've done the adventures or the animated
adventures. I did Super Pets." And I said, "Yeah, I've drawn Superman a lot of times." And then you said, "Do you ever draw the cover?" Like, I draw covers for all my books. You're like, "No, but did you ever draw a Superman cover?" And I'm like, "Oh, mainstream Superman?" You're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, I never did that before. They're not going to hire me. They're not going to let me have the mainstream Superman." And then you made it possible, man.
I told them I wanted you to be our first variant.
Yeah.
For the DC. And then Tom Nguyen, a great gentleman who also did our logo for our CB4K awards. Tom was the one that did that. Did the second cover. We will have a small allocation of those at our table.
Cool.
So when if anybody comes by to on Friday they can sign it there, or if they can get there on a different time, they could still buy one and have you sign it at your table. So
yeah, man.
So we will have some of those. But we've been doing Superman covers now for 3 years.
Wow. And it's like something you could keep in perpetual print, right? You have a permission to keep it print. That's cool.
Last year we had Chrissy Zullo and Jerry Ordway do the covers.
Yeah, I saw the Ordway cover. That looked really good.
It's very, very nice. So, and this year I don't know what we're going to do yet. I sent a note to DC and said, "Hey, I guess it's time to start talking about I guess we're in April already. It's time to start figuring out what we're going to do."
You say, "Hey, man, what comes next, man?"
What's strange, and I hear myself how this is rattling off my lips. I call DC. You can't imagine how foreign this is. Seriously, because Michelle will share with you when we started. She said it. We were operating out of a 10 by 10.
Yeah.
The expectation was we were going to do 5 hospitals when we started.
Yeah.
I didn't know any publishers. Nobody knew who we were. There was never any expectation of this becoming what it has. And we're honored. Believe me, we're honored. But, I hear myself and thinking, how crazy is that?
That's crazy, man.
It's nuts.
When you talk to the older editors, they would say, "No, that's not how you do it." That's how you do it, though.
But that's how you do it.
That's how it works. It works, man. Yeah, we got people commenting. Let's see. I think Joe says, "Go Sox."
Wait. Hold on, Joe. Joe, come on, Joe.
Look all your comments. Look at Hendrick said he'll donate a stick of gum.
Listen. Unfortunately, kids in hospitals can't have food items, or we would take it. Okay.
Yeah, just for that. Go Sox.
Come on. Is there any North Side love here?
Dan Wisniewski said, "Those are great comics. I bought them off eBay from CB4K about a month ago." Oh,
there
cool.
we go.
Thank you,
Dan. Danny W is a good man. Yeah, go Sox. And,
that's the same. That's Yeah,
that's cool. My mom says she needs a copy of that. I need a copy of that. And Joe says, "Go Sox." And then, and then what else happens here?
Hey, Joe, I did like you. Remember?
Yes. Yeah, he wants to talk to you. Artie Bee C2E2 or Alice Darty Z10 comic books for kids. Z10. Yeah, they're close by. Let's do it, man. We're
So
all
you're Z10 and we're SP3.
SP3. Yeah, there it is. He's trying to get it right. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, SP3,
Yeah.
man. And here's one more. Let's see what Alex Andrick. I'll donate to a crumpled up dollar bills that rats in my walls have been collecting. I think I don't know. Andrick might need to move soon. Unless you just adopt them as pets, but then you got to feed them. Well, he's feeding them money, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah. But that's cool, man. That's a good. That's a
You
good
know,
time.
I like Michelle. I haven't asked you this, but when did you realize? You know, Michelle is the first line of response for what we do. I mean, most people know Michelle. A lot of people know Michelle more than they know me, because when they reach out to the charity, Michelle's the one that responds. Michelle manages our Facebook, our Instagram, all our social media channels. When did you realize that this was going to be a little more than what we thought it was ever going to be?
You know, something that blew me away and I was really surprised by it was when somebody messaged me on Facebook, and remember during COVID we all got those checks. I forget how much they were. We got those checks from the government.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that what that $15 was? Someone sent me $15 in the mail. Was that it?
You get those checks, whatever they called them. And this college kid that doesn't have any money, he donated his whole check to the charity. And I was like, wow, I don't know, that really blew me away, because I'm like, look, he believed in the cause, and he's like, you know, I just want to give you guys the money, and I really support what you're doing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I remember telling my dad too at some point. I just remember thinking, like, this is going to become something big. And I feel like I felt it our first year at C2E2.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I feel like people really like the cause, and we're coming up and telling us stories and showing so much support. And I just remember thinking, this is going to be something, and this is going to be something great for the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, it is cool. I like how everyone is responding to you guys too. And like I said, like, I can't get over how much stuff you had at that warehouse.
So Michelle's right. We started with a 10 by, well, we didn't. We started in my basement in my house.
In your garage.
That lasted about a week. And then we moved to the garage, and someone sent me an email saying, hey, I'm clearing out my storage unit. Can I give you some comics? Sure. Not having any idea. The guy pulls up with one of those trailer hitches attached to his truck and unloads about 50, 60 long boxes. Now, I do like to keep my car in the garage, but that was the end of that.
Appreciate
it. A year later, we're in a 10 by 10, and I'm thinking, there's plenty of room, right? And so we built these shelves around the 10 by 10, and as Michelle said, you know, we would do we drive in and it'd be freezing in there.
Yeah, that's right.
So cold, but we would have our coats on, and we'd get our boxes and we put it in the storage area hallways, and we'd be putting stuff in boxes and doing what we do. And then we got a pallet from IDW. Now we have a 10 by 10, and 2 4x4 pallets arrived. Now, that was like the most exciting thing that had ever happened to the charity, except we also had a problem. It fits.
But I hope it doesn't rain. Yeah. Stand out there with an umbrella.
I had an umbrella over there.
Yeah. Or make it into a couch. It's like, honey, why is the couch so square and hard? I'm like, put a blanket on it. You know,
so the plan was
go from a
that Mark was going to retire.
That you were
do this charity thing an hour, a couple hours a week. That
Mark
was
Weiss, that guy.
Yeah, this Mark.
Yeah,
was going to retire and do this charity thing a couple hours a week. Play a little Witcher 3, maybe some God of War. Do a little exercise, but there was never any expectation when this started that it was going to morph into what it has become. I mean, first off, how could anyone anticipate this? I never did. Michelle never did when we started this. It was just a little something to keep me busy and make a difference for the kids.
Kind of our getting exercise in video games, but it's in the form of packing boxes and then packing them like Tetris, using the boxes like Tetris. So here's your video game, you know?
Well, I mean, Art, you knew us, right? You knew us when we were just starting.
Yeah, I did. I met you on day one, maybe. Close to it.
Pretty much. And that's when we talked about, hey, we'd love for you to do a comic book for kids comic. And we mentioned that a few years ago, just in the side, right? The one that you showed.
Yeah.
Gosh, it would be great if there was a second issue.
Oh yeah, there's going to be.
You think?
I wrote it already. It's in my sketchbook. It's all about camping. Mish and Artie Bee are hungry, so they need to find food. So that's like all the cartoons in the 30s and 40s where the characters were always starving. Remember that? He's I'm hungry.
No.
Yeah, like Tom and Jerry always wanted to eat, and then Woody Woodpecker was always hungry. They would pull their belts real tight, and you see their ribs. But that's kind of what it reminded me of. And Artie B sees a smoke and a campfire, and he goes, "There, they always have food. They're always roasting hot dogs and roasting marshmallows. They'll have food. You just buzz around, and then when they're not looking, you grab stuff." And so that's what they do. Then the adventure begins because they meet Marcia, who's a marshmallow, and they meet Marshall, who's her brother. He's also a marshmallow, and they meet their best friend Graham, who's a graham cracker. And so they're cooking s'mores pretty much, and they're staying warm, but see, I'm going into it. Mish discovers with her computer that, oh, these guys are food. We can eat them. So then the adventure, hilarity
begins, right?
ensues. Yeah, that's only the first 3 pages that happen. So
wow, it'd be really cool if anybody wanted to see a preview of that. Any idea where they might be able to?
I do. It will be. I'm assuming. I'm betting. If I was a betting man, I am kind of. It would be at C2E2 at the 5:30 awards ceremony panel extravaganza for CB4K Comic Books for Kids. There might be a little presentation reveal.
Peek.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. That's the only place to see it.
Announced first
here. But we're announcing the announcement. We didn't show it. We're announcing hey, there's gonna be a movie trailer tomorrow, but I can't show you it today. You gotta wait.
Like you said, that book, CB4K Comic Book for Kids #1. By the way, would you let everybody know why did you name it that? I mean, the story behind that is
we were
we let you choose that. The title.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what kind of comic book could be random stories, or what are we trying to do? And every time we talked about it, it all evolved. Like we were donating, I was doing books with Wolf Boy Books with Comic Tom, and we did a few rounds of those, and then those got shipped. And then we always run into things like with companies or people, and then when you find out, there's that saying, the only way to do it the right way is do it yourself, whatever they do. So when we were talking about making comics, and I was like, well, maybe this and this, and then I'm thinking, why don't we do it? Or I think you approached that. Can we do it? Do we need all these publishers and people? And I'm like, no, let's us do it.
Let's do it.
And then you said, I just want to make a comic book for the kids. I'm like, yeah. And so as I was drawing, I'm like, what kind of book could have like any random character? So if one of the characters runs its course, or we bring another character and another character takes over the title, just have the one title. And the book is for kids, and it's called Comic Books for Kids because it says it all. And it's your company, your logo. So it's cool. And
that was your idea.
Yeah, what was it? Just all made sense.
Right? I mean, we said to you, call it whatever you want.
Yeah, because originally I think it was going to be Anti-Gravity Bear and Mish. Anti-Gravity Bear and Mish. I'm like, that's too much. Like, who's going to, like, and one of my big things is if you could have a character or a comic book explain what the book is or what the character is without me in the room, if you hand it or show it on image, then it works. There's certain characters that work. Like for me, it worked out with Patrick the Wolf Boy. you could see him and his name, and you laugh and you already know what he's like. And Action Cat, it worked for him because I know that because I didn't even have a comic book with Action Cat when I created him, but kids wanted to know more. But in the mainstream, it works with like Batman, but it doesn't work with a character like Gambit. See, Gambit, you look at him and like, why? What's Gambit? What is it? You know, you have to read more into it. It'll probably work with the Thing, Spider-Man, but maybe a guy like, just like, who's that guy Vibe from Justice League? He doesn't have that. You know what I mean?
The breakdancing character.
Yeah, like certain characters, you look at them and nobody needs to tell you what they are. So when I was thinking of our comic book calling it Anti-Gravity Bear, like I don't know, that wouldn't get everybody into it, but a book called Comic Books for Kids, that says everything. That's like, oh, this is for kids, comic book for kids, and it comes from, oh, who sent you that? Oh, Comic Books for Kids. It's kind of like the whole who's on first. Who's on first? No. Yeah, it's like Comic Books for Kids send you that, but the book's called that. Like, yes, it is. The company's called that. So I thought that was cool, and that's like and we have a comic series called Oh Yeah Comics, and it's kind of the same thing. Like it could be just random characters in every issue, but that's the company too.
What if somebody wants to buy Comic Book for Kids? How much are we going to sell that book for? Do we want everybody to buy that book? How much we sell that book for? What do you think?
Book right here.
Yeah.
This book right here. This book. Yeah. 20 pages, original stories, $5.
What?
It's $5 comic.
Should we do that?
Yeah, I think we should.
Brand new characters in the Artie Bee universe. And we should sell it for $5 at both our tables?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And this is the premium one. This is the $30 one. This one's even more awesomer. There's less than these. If you're the 100th guy in line, you will not be able to get one of these.
If you're the 98th guy in line.
Yeah, you'll be too late. Sorry. But you could buy these. We have these.
Yes, we do.
We have enough of these. We're sending thousands of these to the kids. We have a few extra to sell to the masses. But kids don't have to pay. They get them for free. So
a little story. Art visits the CB4K headquarters.
Yeah, I did.
And he's in a room, and all of a sudden, as I'm pointing something out, I turn around, and there's a pencil in front of me that has been waved in front of my eyeballs. And it's a cat in the hat topper. It's a cat in the hat topper on top of the pencil.
Yeah.
Because, this is cool. I go, take it.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. The fact that you happened to find that pencil.
And I think when I looked at it, it turned and looked about on its own. I had to pick it up. I've been watching Ghost Adventures a lot. And that's what happened. Yeah, because now you can watch them, no commercials. Oh my God. That's why you hear that a lot.
So you've got a Cat in the Hat, which, by the way, goes very nice with Cat in the Hat shutters.
Oh, it does. I'm going to bring those shutter, man.
Tell everybody about the shutters.
I have there's a short on my YouTube channel. There's we got our house remodeled. We got aluminum vinyl siding, not aluminum anymore, not vinyl, plastic vinyl siding. So they removed these shutters, and when they put them back, there was 4 extra ones. Like, where don't they go back up there? So it's kind of like when you build furniture, you have extra nuts and bolts. Like, well, I don't need that. All right, it won't fall apart. So I had these extra shutters, and they were just in my garage being moved around, and I actually, like, when I pull the van in, I scraped some of them. I'm like, oh, what is that? So I took them outside, yelled at them, and then I sprayed them. I sprayed them with primer and just painted them. And I told my wife, I showed her, and she freaked out. She goes, "What? That's a great idea." I'm like, yeah, because originally we wanted. I asked Sonny if he wanted them because he does a lot of acting, and he said those would be a good stage prop. But then he never took them. They're there. Like, come on, man. So now I sold. I kept running them over them, and anyone who got out of the car on that side would have to step over the shutters. So now I have room in my garage, but I painted them up like the Cat in the Hat, and I'm bringing them to see dos. And we're going to see.
I think it would have been pretty funny had the contractor come up to you and said, so we have the preliminary shutters on there just for placement. We're going to take those cardboard ones down. Could you give us back the originals?
Yeah, put them back up. It would be nice and colorful. I don't know if they'll hold up in the weather, but they'll look great in a kid's room or in your kitchen. Put them right in your kitchen.
They're going to be at C2E2 for everybody to see?
Yeah, and I'm donating one to the charity auction. They do
Oh.
what did it? What's I can't never. Can
They
never
do St.
remember.
C2E2
Yeah,
does a
St.
St.
Jude's.
Jude's. Does a
Yeah,
St. Jude's auction.
and I've been to the
Oh.
St. Jude's auction several times in the past, and they just give a stage, and then Mike Negan, our good friend, he holds up the art, and they just do an auction, but they don't always have like a screen to project. So it's mostly just him and a microphone and the auction. And if you want to see the art, you come up closer, you walk up and you bid. But I can't wait to see these shutters because they're over 6 feet tall and they're going to be real big on stage. You're going to see them. You don't have to get out of your chair.
There's not going to be a problem with that.
Yeah, you're going to be able to see them. But I'm real curious. I'm donating one. I'm going to let them pick. I got 4 of them. So I'm selling 3. But I'm really curious if whatever they sell for at the auction, I'll probably match the price. I don't know. I don't know yet. And maybe, hopefully I could sell them before the auction happens. But they're rare and they're cool, man. And I didn't put them in my van yet. I hope they fit. I didn't even measure them. But they should fit. They'll go right above everything in the ceiling. I'll probably rest my arm on them while I'm driving.
You get stopped by the police. That's going to be a pretty fun conversation.
And he's going to say, I'm going to say, shut the hell up. I mean, what? Shut her up. Shut her up. Yeah. What? No, it was bad.
Hey, Joe. Joe, you still watching? What do you think? Cubs? Hey, Joe, what do you think?
He says, and big trolling. That's what he says.
I wait for Joe to be,
He didn't say nothing about the Cubs.
Well, he will now. Come on, Joe. Give us some North Side love.
Here you go. Go Sox. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Other people are saying stuff. My mom's back in there too.
I have so many Sox hats.
Oh, come on.
One over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I'm not going to put Andrick's comics because he's talking about rats. I don't need to talk about rats. Oh, there's a Cubs helmet. What's this? Mish and Artie B need a pick and neck a basket. Yeah, we do. And maybe in the next one. Mom says, W. She's for the win. Mom's for the win.
Yeah. All right.
Go win, Mama. Michaela's here. We like Michaela. Hello, Michaela. And Abraham Linkage is also
the best.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we should bring we should put Abraham Linkage make a guest appearance in the next book. That'd be kind of cool.
I think the first time I heard that name, I couldn't stop laughing.
Perfect. Yes.
And we had, when we first launched the Abraham Linkage book, we had an Abraham Linkage party at the store, and we had a launch party for the store. But I bought all these hot links, and my wife cooked them in the oven. We put hot sauce, and I brought a whole tray of hot links to the store. It was hot links and forks. You stab it and just walk around the store with a fork and eat your hot link. So people missed that, and people asked when we're doing that again. So I got to lock down Abraham Linkage's birthday and just do it every year. Just launch the same book over and over. I got a lot of them.
Tell the story of how you came up with the name Abraham Linkage. I mean, where were you? What's the story behind that?
Go Sox.
Oh, Sox.
Is that the voice from the Phantom Zone?
I need Ghost Adventures over here.
That's all right. I like her. She's saying the right things. But I remember drawing the character in my shop because I would just sit there in my book. And back then I was creating a bunch of characters for Comics, and we were going to start a Kickstarter a week. This was before the Kickstarter hit, but I was just doodling, and I drew a hot link, and I put a hat on him, and that's it. It just came real easy because he was a link. He was a linkage, sausage link, and that's Abraham Linkage. I don't know how it happened. I just wrote it down and it happened.
Did you start laughing?
Yeah, immediately. And I showed my friends. Everybody's laughing. But he looked a little bit wrong in the beginning because I had to tone him down. But he looked a little bit weird. So I took some of his details off. But he looks a lot better. He looks more like a sausage now than he used to look. So if you ever see those first sketches, you're like, what the heck is this? He was more like a curve. It looked weird. It reminded me of that that movie, Sausage Party movie. He looked a little bit like that, but that even came after. So I had to fix him up, but now he's like he looks like he has a buzz going on, like in his face.
So Michelle,
he says
Mish goes from Marsha Marshmallow food with Artie Bee to Abraham Linkage food.
Yeah.
She's going to get really confused.
Yeah. Yeah, she can't eat any of these people. I also have a gyro man, his food. I have the banana boys. They're like gangsters. But those guys never appeared since I was like in the 90s. I put them in one book, and they're more like they were based off of Jules and Vincent from Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
They were
nice.
just
Yeah.
bananas with guns and sunglasses and ties. And that's what they look like. They look like Jules and Vincent.
What are we looking at behind you? There's a really cool painting that we're all looking at.
This painting is just a giant canvas, and every time I paint, I add my extra paint to it. So it's not quite finished yet. There's still this rainbow or this lightning bolt. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, I got to finish a little bit there. I got to do the rocket ship in the middle. See there's a rocket ship that I have to still put the details on. Here,
Okay.
I'll make it large for you. I like make things large. See this little rocket ship in the middle, and he's blasting off from here. So he's blasting from the planet, but I just keep adding stuff to it. Just a rocket, then it's pretty much finished. But every time I have paint, I just keep adding to it, and that's what I do. That's how I start the next painting a lot of times, and that's how I was able to do a bunch this time because I just have extra paint. And
what size canvas is that, Art?
That's a big one. That's I think it's 2x4 maybe or 2x3. Yeah, that's the biggest one I have. I have one more that is a commission for Danny Wisniewski. He chimed in earlier. I got to paint something for him, and but I got a bunch of canvases. A friend of mine just told me to come over one day to his garage, and he lifted the door and he had tons of canvases, and he loaded up my van, and so I still have some of those, and I thought that was cool. So so I'm still drawn, but I like to buy wood boards. I buy these 2x2 wooden plywood boards, and I go to Home Depot or whatever and buy these boards for like $5 each or $3 each. Sometimes it might be $6 each now, but it's all like the scrap wood. So I go there, I bring them home, and I prime them up. I put real thick white primer on them, and then I can paint them as canvas. Look at that guy. Who's that guy? Hey, buddy.
That's that's the mascot.
It's comic book for kids.
It's the mascot.
Yeah.
Hi there.
That's cool.
You're all wet. You went outside. Yeah, I love you too, baby. Okay.
Look at it. Joe says, still watching, but we're rocking at the shop right now. Go Sox.
Joe, I'm coming over, Joe. I'm coming over, Joe.
He give you the what for? It sounds like I'm watching while ants are stealing my food crumbs.
So Andrick has got rats and ants now, right?
Yeah, he needs to move. I think he's trying to pitch me stories. That's what he's trying to do. He's like, yes, more Abraham linkage. Hot link. And linkage day was April 2nd. Oh, good. So now we know. See, Anthony Latch, that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago already. Oh, man, we have to catch up on those birthdays. Yeah, linkage was a fun time. That was a really cool day. And everyone that came in, like, I made him eat a hot link, and not everyone knew what was going on. I'm like, hey, man, you hungry? They're like, yeah. I give him a fork, grab a hot link. And then I have a big cooler full of beverages. Is, hey, man, grab something to drink.
Anything can happen at Oh Yeah Comics.
Everything happens too. Anything and everything happens. I'm going to leave this guy alone, this Andrew guy. He's talking about other kind of stuff now.
No, we could.
Should I put him in there?
Yeah, let's share.
Is he all right? The cockroaches won't stop partying in the corner.
Okay, Andrick, now you're getting me a bit concerned.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad I don't live with Andrick. Is it him? Is he the problem, or is it his roommate? Is he a grown man living with mom, or is
Andrick, do you even have a roommate?
Yeah. Does he have a wife and kids? Is he a kid? I don't know. I hope he goes to C2E2 and buys our books, though.
Yeah.
But cool, man.
So if someone goes to C2E2, Art, what are they going to see at your table?
I'm going to have a ton of stuff, man. I got paintings, drawings. I got new books. I got a new Drew and Jot book 2. I got 4 volumes of Gilbert. I got the first 2 volumes of Yogg's. I got my new Flash Gordon Adventures trade. I got a lot of stuff, a lot of my self-published stuff. And, of course, Comic Books for Kids #1. But I got a lot of stuff, a lot of new stuff.
You still have that Mickey book? That Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse, yeah. I still have it. It's called the Oh Yeah Comics Super Special.
You're going to bring that? You're going to bring that book?
Yep, I have that too.
Because you sell out of that book every time you bring it.
I have to reprint it, but I'm trying. I want it to sell out and be gone, but people keep asking about it, so I make a new one. And in the in the early 2030s, we're going to get more heroes like Superman, Batman, Captain America. They're all going to be coming.
Correct.
And I think Goofy is next year. Popeye was this year, but no one's more iconic than putting Mickey Mouse on a cover or Batman or Superman. So I'm already writing my Superman comic, but I don't want to tell anyone what it is because then they'll steal the story.
No, we don't. That's
yeah. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay.
Next time we go to lunch. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Well, this is cool, man. We've been good. I got to finish packing my van and make sure everything fits. Plus, I need to leave room for 2 extra men. So, but
the shutters.
First off,
Andric's a kid, so he's forgiven. He's
so we, congratulations to you on 200 podcasts.
Oh, thanks, man.
Phenomenal, man. And we are
crazy,
very honored. Thank you so much for considering us to be your guests. It means a lot to us. It really does.
Thanks,
so
man.
Thank you very much.
And we're so excited that you're on the board as well. That's
cool.
Really exciting. Yes.
I told I sent that link that you guys made the announcement, and I sent the link to my family text, and my kids were freaking out. And my Gordy says, "Dad, this is the perfect time for you to do this." I'm like, "Yeah." So they were really encouraging, and the cool thing is they start asking more about you guys. Like I would go to lunch and just say, I would say CB4K. And they're like, what is it? And then I said, Mark Weiss and Mish, Mark and Mish. I'd say Mark and Mish. And so when you guys made the announcement, my wife thought the other guy in the photo was Mark. I'm like, no, that's not him. This is the other guy. There's another guy.
Spencer.
And so, yeah.
That was Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer. Yeah.
Oh.
So on our short, when we did a short, the first tour, we got I loaded that short up there and it got 3,000 views in 5 minutes. It was so I don't know how that happens, but my wife saw it, and that's the first time she saw you. And when she saw you, she went, "Aw," like that. So she liked that. Yeah, you look good on camera, so it's good. Yeah. So
it's the Cubs, it's the hat,
It's the hat, yeah. And then she liked that, and then my family is kind of understanding what's going on, and a lot of times, kids don't know parents they just work. Dad works, mom works. But then when they find out what you do, it's kind of cool. And they're starting to realize it too, especially my son trying to get jobs and things and struggling to do this. And he always hears my stories, but my kids don't know me any other way. But I've always stayed home and drawn since they're babies because I got the job right before they were born. I was able to quit my jobs right in 2002, 2001, and Gordy was born in 2003. So they don't know me any other way. But when they start asking me, what do I do after school? And I say, here's what I did. And it's like, my life is an adventure. Something they never heard of me doing these things. And I'm like a secret agent. I'm a skydiver. I swam with sharks and all these things. They don't know all these things about me because I always been the stay-home dad chilling.
Well, Dad was Dad ever show and tell for class?
Was I ever? Oh yeah, I did. I used to go to my daughter's school, and she was 4th, 5th grade. And when she went to 5th grade, I remember she came home from school, and she said, "Dad," I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Everyone in my school knows who you are." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm your dad." She went, "No, they know the famous cartoonist Art Baltazar. They know you." I'm like, "Well, that's okay." She went, "Dad," I'm like, "Yes." She, "You don't need to come to my school anymore." That's what she said. I'm like, okay. So, but she knew that. But now she gives me examples. When she's having a hard time with her friends or whatever, or job, whatever, she'll relate to it. "Dad, this is like the story you told me about what happened to you." I'm like, "Yeah." So they're finding out things that they didn't know before. And suddenly I'm as and it probably happens to you, people, you tell them a story and everyone says, "You should write a book." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's just my life. It's just what happened." So, I took a lot of chances. Like I was telling you that time we were at breakfast, that I call it the in-range diner. like when we were over there. And so I tell you a lot of stories, and that was just stories that I was just telling you that like people don't realize that I did a lot of stuff, and I think my life was very unusual, unique. But this is like another venture. It's gonna be awesome.
The question we have is, I think you're in a different hotel than we are.
Yeah.
But how do we go to the in-range diner for part 2?
The in-range diner. Yeah, we'd have to get on a Uber or something. That'll happen. We'll make it work.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, the in-range. Like
we don't need to explain that one, I don't think.
People who know me might know. In-range. There's a range.
But if people come to see C2E2 and they ask us at the table, we'll tell them.
Yeah, we'll tell them what it is.
But Art, you've worked so hard after telling us all those stories. You've worked so hard to get to where you're at now. I mean, you went through all that stuff to get to where you're at. And it was, those were...
Yeah, it wasn't like you were the famous cartoonist day one. You have worked very hard and you deserve all the success you are now achieving.
Man.
Yes.
Every bit
man.
of it.
It's like hard. Like, I don't know any other job, or especially in arts and music and theater and acting, anything creative. You can't just graduate school and go work because you didn't do anything yet.
Right.
So you have to struggle. And like sometimes it might take you 20 years to get something. And then people say, hey, young go-getter, who made that comic book? Hire that guy. It's more like what you show. Then you can't just walk in and say, yeah, man, I'm a great painter. Like, just paint anything? Well, I'll do that. And you always hear that thing. I have a great story. I just got to write it down. That's all. I go, okay, well, it's not doing me any good right now. Did
you ever have a dream, wake up, and then say, I got to write this down, and a character came from that?
All the time. Yeah. Or you know what? Today I dreamt that I packed my van and I did that I had to finish a project before I had to leave. And when I woke up, I'm like I was dreaming of what I had to do today, but and it was a whole bunch more than what I really had to do. And like when I woke up, I was so relieved that I was like, oh man, I'm so glad I don't have to do any of that stuff I was dreaming of. I was like, man, that was rough. It was rough, I tell you, rough.
Rough, I tell you.
Yeah, but I've been packing my van since Sunday.
Wow.
Well, since Monday. When did I see you? Monday. Yes. Monday's packing. I don't know. But that's cool, man.
Before we go, any final comments? We wanna anyone?
Yeah, let's see what he's saying. Sid Sandrick is here he is. I got people before him. Wayne says, hello, Mr. Clooney. Oh yeah, Mr. Clooney.
He knows you,
Wayne.
huh?
Yeah, everyone. They think it's the Clooney podcast. They don't really know.
Got one more hat.
Oh, look at that.
All
look
right.
At
All right.
I got
Back to the
one more.
regular.
Oh, look at that one. That deserves a
You know what?
nice one.
I got we
Look at that. Back
got
to the cubby.
we got one. I got one up by the South Siders here. Clearly,
I know, man. Misha was ready. She came full chambered.
The thing is, I didn't tell her I was going to do this, and she still
she sensed it. That's a nice one you got right there. Yeah, that's cool. The thing about like a lot of hats don't fit. I gotta buy fitted hats because I have a large head. And there's a website that sells hats to guys with large heads. And when they measure your head and they send you the hat, they give you your hat size inside. But they told me my hat size on their website is called Big Melon. That's my big. So Big Melon is my hat size on their site.
So what? They insult you before they take your money?
Yeah, I'm glad it's not bigger. What are they gonna say?
I have a big brain, okay?
Big melon, then we have fat head. Oh, that's beautiful.
I lost some weight on my head. I shaved all my hair and beard, so it was good. So my hats fit better. Let's see. Jeffrey says, gonna sub up your guest if they're on YouTube, and we're going to stock up on art supplies soon. Your adoring fans are hoping for restock on eBay. Yeah, man. I got all my stuff on my website. All of my comics are available on my website. ArtBaltazar.com. There's a shop. You click and go shop in there. I got all my books there. And make sure you follow us on YouTube. Yeah, man, it'll be cool. Yeah, man. Or go to C2E2. I'll have everything there. I'll have more stuff. Here's a question for all you guys. What's your favorite cartoon character? Mine is Woody. Wow. Andrew loves. I love Woody Woodpecker. I don't know. Who's your favorite character, guys? We'll go with Mish.
I remember I love Gem and the holograms.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Gem.
Truly outrageous.
Yes. And one year at C2E2, the girl that played her voice was there, and I got to meet her, and I was fangirling so hard. I was like, oh my God. I remember playing Gem with my cousin, and my cousin would want to be Gem, and I said, no, you're the Misfits and I'm Gem, or I'm not playing.
I didn't dye my hair for nothing.
Gem.
Yeah. Look at this star I painted on my face. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Gem and holograms rocks.
Yes, I loved that.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, Mr. Weiss, who's your favorite cartoon character?
That's so hard, but I'll tell you, my favorite animated show had to be Batman from Batman the Animated Series when it came out.
Yeah, that's
just
good.
that whole animation sequence, and I'm not even getting into the whole anime, because that's something totally different.
Yeah,
that would be awesome to speak with anybody that wants to talk about a C2E2. But I'm going to go with Batman and Batman the Animated Series.
And I know your favorite comic book superhero, Spider-Man. I know that.
Do you?
Yeah, because you told me you have every book, every Spider-Man.
Close to every.
Maybe missing a few here or there. I saw one you got today, but that could be a secret if you want.
I think it's no longer a secret.
Yeah, you don't have to show it. Yeah, but it's cool, man. Yeah, but you're awesome. Look at D. Brad. Oh, my favorite. I love Hanna-Barbera characters, but I really love Heathcliff. Those
Heathcliff. Oh my gosh!
Like he's there. See him on the floor? I got a little bank. Like I'll go.
I do see him on the floor. You know what? You know what? Before we go,
there he is, right there.
Yeah,
those two guys. I love those two guys right there.
By the way, I do see Batman the Animated poster behind your.
Yeah, I do have that. I got that poster before the show debuted, so that was a actual from a theater style poster.
You also have a spinner rack.
Yeah, I got the ones with all of them on there with Spider-Man, Superman on it.
Is that one of the original spinner? You got two spinner racks.
This is a new one, modern one, but that one is the old vintage one. The one over there that has all the guys in it. Richie Rich, Archie, Spidey, and Superman are all in there, and that one's like worth thousands of dollars. Like if you tried to buy one. But one of my friends had that, and he walked up to me and whispered in my ear his price, and I said, "I'll take it." And then and before I could leave, I'm walking out of the show. It just started. And I'm walking to the van with this thing, and my wife's still getting out of the van. She goes, "What is that?" I said, "I'll tell you later." I just want to get it out of the way because I don't know.
It's a kitchen utensil holder.
Yeah. It's it's worth like $1,000, sometimes $3,000, but he sold it to me for $100.
Are you kidding? You can't get those anywhere for under $400 or $500 used. I mean,
when he said I brought this, he wanted it's $100. He said, "I brought this for you, but if you don't want it, I'll sell it for more." I'm like, "I'll take it." So I gave him $100, and it was the first day of the show, so I had show money, so it didn't feel like I was at Mego Meet. I was there to buy toys, so it was real cool, man. So I was able to get that, and I tried to get another one, but I can't afford another one, man. They're like $1,000.
They're expensive, yep.
And like even if you get one for $400, you still got to pay another $500 to ship it or something. It's insane. But so yeah, I know I'm good with that one. I might just move.
Could we do this again and not wait for 200 more?
Yeah, we do it whenever, man. Yeah, we do it whenever we want. Mighty Mouse, Cosmo Cat. Look at these guys are all saying stuff. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, be at C2E2. Oh, I don't know.
I
don't know.
That should be easy enough to check, though, because the C2E2 website will list all those guests.
Yeah, that's all true. Everything you said is true.
True story.
But you know how you know it's the end because you know we always hear from Joe when it's towards the end.
That's a wrap. Yagums.
See, he lets us know. All right, guys, wrap it up. Well, you guys are awesome, man, and this was really cool. I think people really dig it, and we'll do this again.
Congratulations, Art, on 200. Congratulations on, you know what? Woo-hoo. And congratulations on being recognized by the Dr. Seuss family for Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, I forgot. I'll have that book too.
That's that's
comes out. I don't know if they'll have book 2. I'm not sure. They might, but I know I'm doing panels with them, but book 2 comes out officially in September. So unless they might have it in San Diego, but maybe if they have it, man, that would be incredible.
And if we go to C2E2, what panels are we going to see you at?
I'm going to be at the Comic Books for Kids on Friday, 5:30 panel. Then I got 2 Dr. Seuss ones in the family headquarters area. One at like 11 or 11:30, and one's at like 4 in the afternoon on Saturday. And then Sunday, I'll be at my table all day for the kids.
Wonderful.
That line will build it, man. And I get up and they're like, "Where's he going? What's wrong? Where's he going? Why is he leaving?" So I make sure I got all my food and everything that I need to last. Because usually the moment I sit, it opens at 10, but somehow the line starts at 9:30. I don't understand. But there are people in there waiting, looking at me. And I usually clear it out by 2 o'clock. So, but it's busy until 2, and that's how it was the last few years. So, but I love it. And I know that Saturday night, come 10:30, I got to go. I got to go to sleep. I got to lay down now. If I'm not in bed by 11, the kids are not, they don't care. They're like looking at me. Oh, what's wrong with Mr. Baltazar? Why is he gone? What's wrong? Why is his eyes red? Why does he keep wiping his forehead?
Why does he look like that, Mom?
Why is wrong with him? You know, so they don't care. And then you see their little hands like right in front of me, and they're all looking at me. And I know that on Kids Day, Sunday, all my books are wrecked. They're all knocked over. But that's just how it goes. But I look forward to that. And,
well, if you need anything on Sunday, let us know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just let us know. I know you're going to be busy, so if you need anything.
We might just like take a break. Can't take me away. But Revolution Brewery is usually there on setup day on Thursday. And a few, I don't want to say what they used to do, but they'll be available, you know. But I don't know if they used to do things that was secret or everyone knew. But they sell their beers on Thursdays. So they're part of the setup team. So that makes it easier to set up. So the earlier you get there, the later you can stay.
Well, look, we're looking forward to saying hello to everyone at C2E2. We'll see you there sometime on C2E2. Probably not on Sunday, much before 3:30. But
yeah, man,
it's going to be a great show. And thank you so much again for allowing us to participate on your 200.
Oh yeah, man, you guys are awesome.
Let's do it again. Thank you.
No fighting, no crying. Be nice to each other. Wake up and do the things that make you happy. You guys are awesome. Okay, bye-bye.
Art. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Art. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Famous cartoonist says things.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Famous cartoonist draws things.
Oh yeah.
Famous cartoonist paints things.
Oh yeah.
Famous cartoonist Art Baltazar.
Hello. Sorry.